Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing great. Tecware sent us over this keyboard. It's called the Spectre 75. It's a 75% keyboard, and we're going to take a look at it today. A little damage there. We are going to check this out. Let's see if there's damage inside. We got candy red linear switches, actuation force of 45 grams, plus or minus 5 grams. Wraith pre-lube switches. The Tecware Spectre 75. All right, customizable LCD screen. It's a 75% keyboard layout. Tecware did send me this keyboard, but I do not get paid for these reviews. You will always get my honest opinion. All right. Well, hopefully, with that padding there, even though the Amazon guy punted it, should be all right. Got a nice USB Type-C cable, braided. That's pretty. We got a tool for removing keys. That's helpful. Got some extra switches. You always need that. We got some directions, I guess, a little user guide. Foam pad for the spacebar, and it looks like a spare LCD screen. Well, that's nice. We'll see the Spectre 75. That is some nice packaging, I gotta say. That will keep it protected in the shipment. Oh yeah, it comes with the pre-installed LCD screen. So this is just another protector in case this one gets scratched. You can replace it. That's cool. As you can see, this is a 75% keyboard. Some people don't like that because you get rid of the numpad here. I actually do like it because you get more real estate. So when I'm gaming, instead of having to move the keyboard way over, I actually don't have to move it at all. Some people actually don't understand why, but that's why, is so you have more real estate. And if you don't use these keys anyways, why have them in your way? But that's the reason behind that. All right, well, let's check this out. First things first, I am going to check. Oh, yeah, she's got some weight to her. Flexes a little. So you can see how much she flexes. Nice little spot for your dongle. We got multiple latches in the back to flip up. So you have different angles that you can type at, and that is always nice. So the first one is for wired, the second one is 2.4 gigahertz, and the third one is Bluetooth. If you want to use the dongle, it goes in that second position. If you don't want to use the dongle, you just want to use the Bluetooth, on your system, you can use it that way as well. Or if you want to use the wire, use it in that position. That is a cool option. I actually didn't think I would like the LCD screen that much, but I'm loving it already. It draws your attention. It really does. All right, so now we're gonna go over some of the functions. So you press and hold the function key and the knob here, and that will switch you between volume and LCD function. You just hold it for 3 seconds, and now we can control the functions of the keyboard through the LCD screen. And we'll go through them. The first screen is going to have your date and time on it, but the first one we'll go through is effects, and it has a bunch of different effects, and each one just changes what the keyboard does. After you pick an effect, say this is the one we like, you can then choose color, and if you want, you can have the RGB, but you can also pick what you want. And again, we could choose a different effect, but it's going to go back to the RGB. But that's fine, because after we get what we want, we can do, so we can go back to color. Oops. And pick the right color. Let's see what's next. Brightness. It decreases and increases by 20% increments all the way down to 0, turning it off. And then we have speed, and the same thing with the speed. It decreases and increases by 20% increments. Volume, pretty self-explanatory, turns the volume up and down. Next we have system, and you can pick between Windows and Mac. And then language, it lets you pick various languages. We're going to stick with English. To connect the keyboard through Bluetooth, push the switch all the way to the left to Bluetooth, then hold function and 1, 2, or 3 key down for 3 seconds until you see the LCD screen change into Bluetooth setting, and then just go into your Bluetooth settings, add device, and click on the keyboard. So after you download the software, you're going to right click on it, click extract all, and then go into the extracted folder and double click on it. That will open up the program. On the first menu, you're going to be able to set your profile, and also on this page you can set key functions by just clicking on the key and then clicking on the function that you want that key to do. The next tab down is going to be for setting macros if you wish to do that. And the next tab down is the lighting and lighting effects tab. And from this tab, you'll actually get a lot more variety than you will from the keyboard controls. And then the last tab has some general settings like a sleep timer, automatic start, an option to disable the Windows key and such. Now we're going to attempt to replace one of the switches. How about the W? So we're going to get down on both sides of that W so that we're grabbing from both sides. And we're just going to secure the keyboard with the other hand and pull straight up. And to get the switch out, we're going to grab it from the top and the bottom. And we're just going to squeeze gently. Right. You just want to get it from the top and the bottom. You want to be sure you're underneath it. You just want to gently pull it up and pop it out. When you're putting the new switch in, you just want to make sure that these prongs line up. You just set it down in there. Once it feels like it's lined up, just press it in place. Then you put that W right back on. Just press that down. You're good to go. Key replaced, switch replaced. You're just going to want to get the tool underneath the space bar on one side and lift directly up. And then you go to the other side and you do the exact same thing. Lift directly up. It comes with a pad for the spacebar, and we're going to install that now. And then when you pull out the foam pad, you just need to peel the paper backing off of it, and you just push it around those studs that are inside the keyboard there. And I use the key remover tool to press it down inside there, just to make sure it sticks. The sticky side goes towards the spacebar. And then once you got it all pressed down inside there, you just line the spacebar up and you just press it down. And it should have a less hollow sound to it, less ratchety sound to it, a deeper sound in my opinion. And they did give us an LCD, another LCD screen protectant. And so we're gonna see how hard or easy that is to replace. And while we're at it, we'll get a good look at the internals of this here keyboard. We'll do the entire operation right on top of sleeve they provided. There's 4 screws along the top and 4 screws along the bottom as well. I said that backwards, but same difference. Oh, it doesn't reach. I'll have to get a different screwdriver. I believe you just pop that knob off. I think this just pulls apart. Yep, it just pops off. Your LCD screen's in here. And you would just push this out. Pull the protecting film off your new one and press it in there. I'm not going to do that because there's nothing wrong with this one. But as you can see, really simple process. You would just press it out from the inside out. And you just press the new one in. Very, very simple to do. All right, and here is the Spectre 75. Underneath, let's take a look. What we got going on underneath here? These components help keep the keys sounding the way they do, so you don't get a hollow sound or a ricocheting sound. We've already removed the top case cover, so what we're seeing right now is the keycaps on top of the PC switch plate. Right beneath that there's plate foam and a switch pad, followed by a PCB and PCB foam. Then there's that silicone layer, and then there's the bottom of the case, which has the battery attached to it. That's all to dampen and make your beautiful noise without making all the other sound. And this thing is hefty too. It's got some weight to it. We'll weigh it. We'll weigh it as well. I got a scale. We can weigh this sucker out. And it goes back together just like it came apart. Just pushes on. It's got a nice knurl to it too. You can see the knurling on the side there. Alright, and we're just going to put the screws back in and get this back together. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. I like having the dual feet. I like the little cutout for the USB. Whenever you're doing something like this, you want to get all the screws started. I'm having a problem with this one. You want to tighten any of them down. I just get them all started first. That way, it's easier to line them up. Nothing gets cocked and sideways or crossed, or you get no binding. The switches were really easy to change out, so were the keys. The dampening pad really made a difference in the sound. I don't know if it comes through on the tape or not on the video, but it really does make a difference. It goes from a hollow sound to a more solid sound. It sounds more in line with the rest of the keys. The spacebar there, after we installed the dampening, really sounds a lot more like the other keys in my opinion. The screen, that's a nice have. In case you ever do get this scratched, you can replace it. It's pretty easy to come apart. You just have 8 screws there on the back, and you remove this knob and top pops off. The software, you can control all the lighting and effects through the software on your computer. You don't have to go through this LCD screen if you don't want to, but you can. So if you don't want to put their software on your computer, you don't have to. You can just simply use the LCD screen. But one thing the software does do is it allows you to see your GPU and CPU right on your keyboard, and that actually is kind of cool. I like that. You didn't see the GPU because I had it plugged into the laptop, which doesn't have a GPU. The cord with it's pretty nice too. It's nice and braided. I spent a week with this keyboard, reviewing it, making it my daily keyboard, going through it, playing games on it, typing on it. And it's an easy recommend for me. The keys feel great. They sound great. It doesn't move around. It's heavy enough. It stays in place. It's classy looking. It's not too flashy. The RGB effects really come out and grab your eyes and grab your attention. They almost have like a 3D effect. And so it's an easy recommend for me. I would really like to thank Tecware for sending it over. And yeah, thank you guys. And if you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching as always, and take care.